Well, now here's a great job to have, working to help entrepreneurs turn their original ideas and inventions into new products and technologies. Now meet the woman leading the charge, Julie Lenzer Kirk, Director of the Office of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at the U.S. Department of Commerce. I'm so happy to have you on the show. I do want you all to know that Julie and I met while we were both traveling via an airplane. I didn't get to my destination, did you?
I did.
I'm glad, because you had an important meeting. You had somebody very important to meet.
That's right. That was good. No, but don't ask me how long it took me.
A lot longer. It's just too much. Julie, one of the things that she said to me that really made me like her and wanted to continue to have a conversation with her is that you said to me, I'm a recovering entrepreneur. And I love that because I've tried starting businesses and it's just difficult.
It is. It is. And
tell me your story.
So I'm in recovery, which the first step to recovery is admitting you have a problem. I am addicted to all things entrepreneurial, really. So I started my company in 1995. But I was 10 at the time.
Absolutely.
And it was software in manufacturing space, which is a really interesting place to be as a woman. Software, manufacturing, both of those are not a whole lot of women in there, but it was a passion of mine. I just loved using technology to make things happen.
And you know, Julie, that's the point that a business wants to get to, where they can say, you know what, I've got a good or a service that is monetized, it's worth something, and someone wants it, and I can sell it, cash out, and move on to the next thing.
Right.
But it's so difficult for businesses to get to that point. And especially, I mean, especially female-owned and minority-owned businesses often.
It is, and the biggest key is finding a real problem that you're solving for a customer and that the customer's willing to pay to have solved. And so you've got to be, a lot of people create this thing and they think, oh, this is really great, but if a customer doesn't say, yeah, that's great, and they don't vote with their dollars, then what you have is a great idea but not a business. And so it really requires that you tie in closely to your customers.
And customer service is important, and understanding your customer. I mean, you're sunk if you can't handle that one very important bit of business there.
Right, right. And if you're not willing to be adaptable around what they need and what they want. And again, it's really important to find a problem that they need fixed. Because if
that's key. What you keep saying it, and it's key. It's really key.
Did I make that point?
Yeah, but we need to make it over and over again, because it's the genesis of everything.
Right. I mean, you think about like the iPod, right? The original iPod, people are like, well, that was a nice to have. Well, not if you traveled a lot and carried around CDs like I used to.
Right, exactly.
Right? The Kindle, you know, how many books did I travel, carry when I traveled? There was a problem that was solved. It was also a nice to have, and then it became an imperative. I have teenage daughters that say, you know, can't imagine life without an iPod or a phone.
Right.
But they didn't used to be imperatives.
Right.
You know, we survived without, or I did anyway. Survived without one.
So you quit, you sold your business, like you said, you wrote a book, and you really realized my passion is entrepreneurial.
That's right.
And I want to help as many people as I can. So what was your next move?
So I started teaching an entrepreneurship program for women called Activate that helped mid-career women to start businesses using technology. And watching these women, and most of them were mid-career, so they'd had some success professionally, but they needed that extra boost to get out of their comfort zone to start a business. And so we ran that program. It's still running today in a couple different states. And I started teaching at the graduate level, loved graduate students teaching entrepreneurship. And then I got recruited to run the Maryland Center for Entrepreneurship in Columbia.
So what does that mean? Tell me about that.
So that is, entrepreneurs are very social people, and this is about building the community to support them. And it fed very nicely into my role now at Commerce, because we're about building the resources and connecting the community for entrepreneurs to help them be successful.
And when you say the community, parse it out a little bit more for me.
Sure. So entrepreneurs need advice, they need education, they need support, they need mentors, they need capital. And so getting all of those things around them to support them, they need them at different points. And so building that community so that they have those resources before they even need them. You know, they're building relationships. They know they can reach out to a lawyer or an accountant or an investor when the time is right.
And tell me more about what you were able to do when you were in Howard County.
So in Howard County, the Maryland Center for Entrepreneurship, we took a 26,000 square foot building. We had clients in there. We had about 26 clients in there. In the period of 2 years, we quadrupled the number of clients we were working with. So
how were you able to do
that? So it was through outreach and building that program and making it so that the folks who were there would refer their friends, and then they would refer friends, and then they would refer friends.
It's like a pyramid scheme.
It's an entrepreneurial Ponzi scheme, whatever it takes. But by building the value and having them see it. And then I was out in the community, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I think there's some street cred that I can have talking to an entrepreneur going, yeah, I had that problem, and here's what I did.
That's right.
And so we built a community. We have a great team there in Howard County that is providing services, and then once they graduate, we help them move into the community. And so it was about the energy that we created and creating those opportunities for people to make meaningful collisions that could help them with other people that could help them grow their business.
Bringing people together. So then you get the call from the Obama administration, which I'm still waiting on. Mr. President, I'm here. 202. Okay. Yeah. So you get the call from the Obama administration, and did you say, well, let me think about it, or were you like, this is right up my alley?
Well, it's funny because when I got the call, they're describing this job to me in a very eclectic background that I have, doing tech transfer, entrepreneurship, community building, and I'm listening to it. I'm thinking they're asking me for a referral, and so I'm thinking, who do I know? This sounds really interesting. I love what I do, but this sounds like something I could do on a national level.
Yes.
And then at the end of the conversation, they said, you were recommended as, for this job. Are you interested? And I'm like, yes.
High five!
Yeah. Yay! So it was, I had a great deal in Howard County, and I was very sad to leave. Great community, but the ability to do, opportunity to enable other people to do this in other communities across the country, hard to say no to.
It's funny how life unfolds. It's a building block, and everything you did in the past led you to this specific position. You have all the skill sets, all the tools in your little toolbox to help the rest of us. And I want to talk about a term that you use that I like, because you talk about the ecosystem, and I said to you, I listened to you and I was like, well, I know that from a science perspective, I only know the word, but tell me when you say an ecosystem, talk about what you're able to do at the Commerce Department for people.
So at the Commerce Department, we help fund different organizations that are bringing together the partners. So an ecosystem is like the supporters, the mentoring. It could be a physical space. It could be an entrepreneurship center, an incubator, which an incubator is not warm, fuzzy chickens. It's actually flexible, sometimes inexpensive office space. Entrepreneurs need a place to hang their hat. Sometimes it's co-working space. It's a big open area with a long table that entrepreneurs can come in and they can work. They can choose to put their headphones on, or they can choose to converse with people. And it's bringing lawyers, it's bringing accountants, it's bringing all those things that they need together under one roof or in that community, and connecting those dots so that they can access the help that they need when they need it, including customers. So bringing customers in as mentors and helping them connect to their first customer, because that is the best form of capital that any company can have, is a customer, paying customer.
That's right. Hear it from the customer. Julie Lenzer Kirk with the U.S. Department of Commerce, thank you so much for talking to us about being innovative and being entrepreneurs, two things that are very important to us here on DC Breakdown.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.